Welcome to the next episode of the Florida Gateway College podcast, FGCXP. I'm the host, Brandon McIntyre. You can find this in every episode on our YouTube channel or on your preferred podcast provider. Today, we're going to be talking about the foundation for Florida Gateway College, and I'm joined by two people, Lee Pinchouck, the executive director of the foundation, and Rebecca Golden, the director of resource development. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Brandon has done his research. He knows what he's talking about.
He does.
Nice to see you, Brandon.
It's scary. Once in a while, I'm able to do that. Tell us a little bit about yourselves so our audience knows a bit about you two.
Go first, Rebecca.
Right ahead. So I joined FGC family back in 2014, and it was a great time. I really enjoyed working at the college. I was excited about the opportunity, able to work with CTE programs when I first came over. And then when we added sports back, I got to work with the athletic department and bring all that back to FGC, and that was super exciting. I loved that. That's a passion of mine. And then Mr. Lee Pinchouck contacted me after that and said, hey, what do you think about the foundation? Would you be interested in joining us over here?
So what got you interested in athletics, and what made you decide that the foundation was right for you?
So I was a college athlete, and so that had a huge part in playing that role. Also, before coming over to FGC, I was the head coach at Columbia High School for volleyball. So sports has always been a big part of my life. So that was an easy decision. That was a welcomed opportunity.
Right.
Super excited to be a part of it. And then the foundation, the raising of scholarships because of athletics and bringing scholarships and just funding all the amazing things that FGC is doing was such a huge draw. To be a part of that, to help not just one area, but all areas, is what really excited me.
Awesome. They're lucky to have you. Lee, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been at the foundation.
I am in my 8th year at the foundation. I had some experience doing nonprofit fundraising and relationship building. And so when I received this position 8 years ago, I was replacing someone who had been in this position for 22 years. So my predecessor had done a wonderful job and laid a great foundation for our foundation and for us moving forward. So just something we're really passionate about, and building relationships with people is really what we do. That's the main part of it.
What made you interested in devoting your career to nonprofits?
It's a really good question, Brandon. Thank you for asking that. I don't know that I didn't really make the choice until later, from a standpoint of I'd been involved with another organization, a nonprofit golf organization, because that was kind of my upbringing, and golf was a big part of my life. So I would say, cliche-wise, I think it chose me instead of me choosing it. And when I got involved in that, that just spurred more passion to help people and go from that standpoint of building relationships and fundraising.
So you've both essentially said in order to be an adequate person in the foundation, you need to have an athletics background.
Yes. So don't apply for a job if you can't play sports. That's correctly.
Be competitive.
Correct. Right.
All right. Could you tell us a little bit about what the foundation actually is? Is it a part of the college itself? How does it work?
Good. Let me start off with this, because this is what we say everywhere we go. We say, we believe that no student should have to take out a student loan to attend Florida Gateway College. So we build relationships. We build relationships with people, other foundations, corporations, whoever it is who has a passion for our students, for Florida Gateway College, for helping the students in this area. That's who we're trying to build a relationship with. So last year, through those relationships, donors helped us donate over $1.5 million in excess funds to the college. So going back now to your original question, the foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which means we are the charitable arm to the college. That is, in state statute, we're allowed to do that. So we are affiliated with the college from that standpoint, but we're technically a separate entity that we're our own nonprofit corporation. Now, at the same time, though, what we also like to tell people is we are college employees. which is a big deal to us, and we want to remain that way, because a lot of times people want to make donations to nonprofit organizations and charities, but they don't want their funds going to fund what they consider operations, meaning they don't want to pay our salaries. They want to give money to help students. So in this case, we are very confident in telling people all the time, 100% of your donation goes to your intended purpose. If someone comes to us with $100 and says, I would like this to go to the nursing department, that full $100 goes to the nursing department. We don't take any fees from that. That doesn't pay our salaries. It doesn't keep the lights on in our building. We are college employees. We are paid by the college, but we're able to then take all donations and put them towards their intended purpose. And that's a very big sales point that we like to tell people, because people are real concerned about that from time to time.
Understood. So you said that it's a nonprofit, that's an entity of the college. Do you know a lot and can tell us a little bit about the history of the foundation? Do you know how it started, that kind of thing?
Sure. So the foundation was founded in 1969 by really just a group of community-minded individuals who said, we want to help the college. And again, through state law, you're allowed to set up foundations. So technically, nobody can make a donation to the college. College cannot accept gifts of any kind. That is what the foundation is for, and it's set up properly to do that. So a group of community-minded individuals, a lot of people who, quote unquote, famous names of Lake City, original founding members of the Board of Trustees, came together and said, let's do this so that we can help support students and help support the college. So they got together and made a board of directors, filed all the paperwork that needed to be filed to make a nonprofit organization with the federal government, and from there tried to start building resources, which means started asking people for money to help fund it. So in 1969, it really started with $0.
So this is the 55th anniversary of the foundation.
Quick math, Brandon. Good work.
Thank you. Where is the foundation located? It's not on the campus then?
No, we are located in downtown Lake City, on what I refer to as Majestic Lake DeSoto. We have a building that has been our home now for about 24 years. It was, if anybody's familiar with Lake City and former doctors, it was Doc Ozaki's old house. He was a pediatrician, and we purchased, the foundation was able to purchase that property about 2000. It was purchased there. So it's a beautiful 2-story brick building on Lake DeSoto, right next to O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah.
Shout out to O'Reilly's.
Do you feel like you have the best office on campus with that view of the lake from the second floor?
We like to tell people that everything's better at the lake. Life is better at the lake, all those sort of phrases. If you've ever rented a lake house and they have cliches. No, we do not own any jet skis or kayaks or anything. We have no watercraft. We want to be good stewards of the money that's donated, so we don't play any lake games. I'm
sure everyone is very happy for that. Yes.
Make sure we tell people.
So you had mentioned that one of the aspirational goals for the foundation is that no student should take out a loan. What are some of the other goals and aspirations of the organization?
Growing our assets. A lot of people aren't familiar with how we invest money and what an endowment fund is, and it's not the most fun topic to talk about, but we're here talking about it today. But essentially, an endowment fund at Florida Gateway College, at our foundation, it takes $25,000 to endow a fund. So we take that $25,000 and we actually never spend that money. And that may sound shocking to people, but we never spend that money. We invest that.
Right.
And over a handful of years, what will happen is that money will grow, regardless of what the stock market's going to go up and down. But over time, it's going to grow. So that $25,000 investment that someone makes is in perpetuity. And then what we do is we take a 5-year average of that fund and we pay off 4% every year.
Right.
And that makes a scholarship. And that's what makes it live in perpetuity. So we're the longest term investor there is. We're forever. We're not like a person who's driving towards a retirement age and saying, I need this much money by this retirement age to last me for the rest of my life from retirement till the end. We are forever. So our goals are growing our assets to a point where the money that's peeled off each year is really making a significant impact every year on students and the college.
And that's a common approach for nonprofits to take 4 or 5% and do it that way.
It's common approach for colleges and university endowment funds. I think Harvard University has the largest endowment fund in the world that's billions of dollars.
Right.
So 4% of that is a wonderful amount. We're not in that ballpark.
But the good part with the investments is even if it's, a down year in the market, that just means you can buy more. So when it grows, it helps out. So it always kind of balances out.
Well, it's also the reason for why we take a 5-year average.
Right.
Because if we didn't do that, and like last year was a fantastic year, we were up 23%.
Right.
We could peel off a lot of money for the college and say, here we go, Dr. Barrett, here we go, Florida Gateway College. We've got this much money for you this year. But if this year was down 23%, we don't want to come in and go, well, we don't have anything for you this year because we lost money. So that's why we take a 5-year average.
Makes perfect sense. You had said that one of the goals of the foundation is to build relationships with the community. Like that is so important. How does the foundation engage and work with the community?
Getting out there and meeting people and just being at everything. But that's really where Rebecca and I do a good job of casting a wide net on the community.
So are you members of organizations personally?
Correct. Go about you.
So I'm a member of Altrusa. I'm actually currently the president of Altrusa here in Lake City. My term is about to end though, so soon my title will become past president, and I'm okay with that. But Altrusa is a great organization here in town that's really a builder of leaders. Primarily our group in Lake City, we're primarily women, but our organization is an international organization and there are men involved too. So it's kind of a misconception that a lot of people have.
Right.
Anyone can join, and we do a lot of service projects here in town to really improve our community.
Under your presidency, what has been the project that you are most proud of?
Well, that's a tough one. We have so many. It's exciting. One of our brand new ones. How about that? One of the new ones that we did this year was called Bright Shiny Faces. And we provided supplies, hygiene supplies. We went and reached out to all of our local resource officers that are in our schools and said, what are the things that kids ask for? What are things that they ask you for that you just can't provide to them but would like to? So we tried to fill that void this year and purchase those supplies and give them to the resource officers so they could give them to the kids that need it.
Making a difference in the community. That's so awesome. What about you, Lee? What are some things that you do personally with the community? You said that you go out and you try to build relationships with new entities that come into town, et cetera. What are some of the strategies that you do for that?
So I'm on a various amount of other boards in town, plus I'm a member of the Rotary Club and then other networking groups. So it's just literally at the heart of everything we do is building relationships. We're trying to get to know people, also to see how we can help them. This is not a one-way street that we're looking for. It's not what can we get from them. It's how can we as the foundation and the college help our community and help local businesses, like you said, other businesses that come into town. The college is a job creation entity trying to get people to work. So that's a symbiotic relationship of a hospital, a manufacturing facility. We can provide you jobs, students who are going to come and work for you. And in turn, how do you support the college as well? Because you hear it all the time. It's hard to find good people. It's hard to find people who want to work. Well, if they can help support the college by ways of scholarship dollars to help get students into these classes so that they can get the certificate or degree for that field, it's just working in a nice symbiotic circular relationship. Scholarship money comes in, we get students in class, they graduate, they go to work. That's what helps us build our economy and helps us build our community. So I say that we just get out there. It is probably more scientific than that. It's just that we're people. Everything comes down to relationships that we do. I say it all the time. It doesn't matter what business you're in the people business. It's how you're treating your customers, your clients, your donors, and it's how you're treating the people inside your four walls of your office, so to speak, and the culture that's built with that. So we just try to do that beyond our office walls. And thankfully, it's interesting. Rebecca and I were both not from this area, but I've lived here now for 18 years. And how long have you lived here?
Since 06.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
18 for me.
Almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we now feel like we are from here
Yes.
and a part of this community, and they've embraced us, and it's just getting out there and meeting people, making friends, and eventually it winds up working out. I would say even more often than not, people come to us, and this is a testament to our community, come to us and say, we want to help. What can we do? Oh, I want to get involved. And that's because we are out there. If we sat in our offices all the time, they wouldn't know who we were and wouldn't know what we're doing. But we're just out there making friends. That's what it comes down to. We're just being friendly people.
I think you're right, though, that it's certainly something to do with the community itself. I've been here since 2018, and I don't want to live anywhere else because the people and the community is so different compared to the other places I've lived. And to have that connection is great. I was a part of Leadership Lake City last year, and I got to learn a lot of the civic aspects of how a city runs and all that, and it was really neat. I was able to make some great contacts, and no matter what sector we're talking about, there are great people in this town, and so us being able to help them out is so invaluable too.
And the other part of it is we part of our governance structure is we have a volunteer board of directors. Volunteer. And our entire board is made up of an executive board and then 3 subcommittees that are all experts in their topic, whether it's finance or real estate, that help us meet new people and manage our assets. And all of these people, like I mentioned, are volunteering their time. They're community leaders, and they're across pretty much all of our 5 counties. So what an amazing resource they are for us. Even recently, we're a woman in our office who pretty much runs our office with the accounting and our office management is going to be retiring after working with us for 12 years. And we hate to see her go, but it's time for her retirement. And through one of our board members, we got recommended someone to interview, and we wound up hiring this person who starts next week, and we're very excited about it. And she's an extremely qualified candidate, and now one of us, no longer a candidate, a team member. But I told that board member, thank you, because this may be the largest contribution you've ever made. Yeah. And thank you that you brought us, because it's such a critical position for us managing our books and our office. It's hard to find trust in someone to do that.
We're a staff of 3, so we're lean and mean, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm an office of 2 myself, so I understand that.
Yeah. You said one of our goals too. Another thing that we want to reach this year or through the years is that everybody knows who the foundation is. Who is the foundation for Florida Gateway College? We want to make sure that everybody has at least heard of us or knows who we are and what we do. And so 2 events that we've done recently to help reach people is our Giving Day in November, where we invite everyone out to the foundation. We do a food truck event, and where your donation gets you a meal, but also part of that goes back to the foundation for scholarships or whatever the greatest need of the college is at that time. And then another one that we just started last year in February is our 0.4-ish K. It's a great event. You don't have to be a runner. Did you know that in the world, most of us aren't runners?
I'm definitely not one myself.
Brandon, are you a runner? Let's talk about that.
Only if a bear is chasing me, and I hope someone's fast.
Next year, maybe we can dress somebody up in a bear suit.
Or a wolf.
Yeah.
We might have a wolf.
A wolf, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Chase people, yeah.
Hey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to dress somebody up in the wolf.
Can lead it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got the cheerleaders came last year. It was we involved downtown. So you took off from our office around beautiful Lake DeSoto. You got a cupcake from Brittany's Cupcake. She was there giving you 2 at a time. And then we had Zappa's Coffee as well. And we wound up at Hal Patter Brewing for a beverage of your choice and a band and awards. So we hope everyone comes and joins us next year.
That's such a great idea, and it's unique because I think a lot of people are intimidated by doing a 5K run because, it's 3 miles. I don't want to do that.
Nobody wants to do that.
Right.
You hear about all these charity races all the time. Nobody wants, they really just want a t-shirt.
Or the little medal, right?
We had medals. We had numbered bibs for everyone. We tried to make it as ridiculous as possible. That was the point.
It was fun.
But that's exactly it. It needs to be fun.
That's right.
Right? Because that engages people and makes people think about it.
Well, and to Rebecca's point, that like I always tell people that, especially the marketing people, like, I know this is not how you should have a marketing plan. That what's your goal? My goal is for everybody to know who we are. That sounds stupid. It's just too broad for marketing people. But at the end of the day, it's just that we want everybody in our at least 5-county service area to know what we're doing, because if someone knows what we're doing, they may introduce us to someone who really wants to help.
And the key is you came up with 2 great activities, Giving Day in November, the 4.4-ish K at a different part of the year. But what you've done is they're completely different events, but you're talking about building relationships with the community. You have different small businesses in the community who are getting exposure as well. So like you're helping those small businesses who might not get these people to be customers of theirs to try a cupcake, to have a sip of a latte, and they might want to go back and help support that business.
Right.
So it's symbiotic, as you said.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you have any other plans for new projects when it comes to that? Or is that something that's 1 or 2 years down the road?
Can't tell you at this time, Brandon. Can't tell you.
We just got the top secret button, everybody.
We're always thinking of
We're open to new
ridiculous
fun
ideas and fun ideas. We're always open to new things.
Help spread the word.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about scholarships, like you had mentioned a little bit earlier. What type of scholarships does the foundation offer students?
So we have a wide variety of scholarships. It depends on the donor, It depends on what their heart and their passion is. So we have scholarships at every area of what the college has to offer, from, nursing to horticulture to the AA degree as well. But what students need to do to apply for these scholarships is they're going to go to the financial aid website, and they're going to scroll down and click on one application link, and they fill out that one application, and it's going to match them to all the scholarships that they qualify for. So it's a wonderful program that the college has that helps manage these scholarships to make sure that they're dispersed to the proper students. A big thing that they need to know is all of our scholarships require a 2.5 GPA.
Right. So if somebody is a brand new college student and they have not established a GPA, would they still be eligible for a scholarship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they would.
Do
You
you
have to fill out a FAFSA also.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the FAFSA, and
Yes.
that's a key to be able to get financial aid in general, whether it's scholarships or anything else. Do you have any success stories off the top of your head of people who were able to attend FGC because of the generosity of the foundation and its donors?
So it's really neat. I'm giving Rebecca some time to think of a specific one, but a majority of our scholarships they require a thank you note to be written to the donor. And some people may think that's tedious and not necessary, but we don't agree with that. We don't agree with that because it's not that the donor's needing that recognition. One, we're teaching a life skill that has gone too far away, in my opinion, of gratitude through a thank you note that really means a lot more these days because a lot of people aren't doing that sort of thing. But we've had the opportunity to read these over the last year when we're preparing for certain events, and they hit you like a ton of bricks, understanding where these students come from and the challenges they've had. Are there any specific ones that have popped in your head as I've stalled here waiting?
No, you're good. There are a lot of amazing ones, and everyone's situation is so unique. It could be a sibling that inspired them to go down a certain road, or it could be broken home that they weren't able to attend college or they thought it was out of reach. But because of this scholarship, it made it possible for them to come and better themselves and break that generational cycle of, whatever it is that they come from. I have a fun one, though. Just right around April 1st, I had a student call me. I just sent the email to her, letting her know that she qualified. Here are the steps to receive the scholarship. She almost immediately called me after that email, and she was like, okay, who am I talking to? And I told her, Rebecca Golden with the foundation at Florida Gateway College, I'm excited that you received the email. She was like, I got this email, but I think this is an April Fool's joke.
No.
Because spam is so prevalent in our world today, it's scary. They have to be careful. So I was so thankful that she called, validated it, and she was over the moon excited about the opportunity, that the doors it was going to open. It was going to lift her financial burden for her to be able to attend school this next semester. So there's just so many. It's amazing. I had one last week when she left. I mean, her and her daughter are attending school right now. So imagine that financial burden. And they're both trying to continue and make better for themselves, better lives for each other. And she left going, okay, now how do I donate back?
Oh,
because
amazing.
One day I'm going to do the same, because this just changed so much for me. So it's wonderful.
That literally is the next question on my list. Aww. What an amazing segue. How can someone join the foundation and become a donor?
We make it very simple. The simplest way to do it is to log on to the website, fgc.edu/give, and click around and pick numbers and make a donation. They can call us, 386-754-4201 is my phone number at my office.
Tell them about what a recurring donation is on the website.
That's a good idea. So on the website, you can make a one-time donation, or you can make a recurring donation. So somebody can set up to make a donation monthly, where it just automatically gets drawn out of their account, make it part of your budget. Why not make a donation that's recurring and help a student? So then contact us a variety of ways.
You can come visit us at the lake if you want. Stop by the office.
But I think it's a great point. Like, people spend $30 for Netflix and have no problem doing it, then $20 for Hulu, then $15 for this and $20 for that. And a $10 or $20 donation to the college makes such an impactful difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely does.
Well, Lee and Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.